Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Thank you. And can you see my screen as well as I'm shared? Perfect, perfect. Okay. So, welcome to the last session of the Python for this workshop. And in this workshop, in this session, actually, you will learn how to write gently a piece of the code with a if condition, with the loops. And I believe that with this session, you will learn the structure of the Python very well, and you can continue by yourself and study the rest of the libraries and the Python techniques. But yeah, up to now, I think that you have learned very well. And before starting the class, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, and I pay my respects to the elders, past and present, who made this opportunity to be here studying, living, and having this workshop. Okay, let's start with our Oh, before that, I would like to explain that this workshop is a part of Melbourne Graduate Research Certificate, as you may know. And at the end of this session, in 1 or 2 days, you will receive a link. And then if you are eligible for the certificate, and if you pass the exam, it is only 5 questions and it's very easy, and these are related the contents and the quiz that we have talked together during the session. So I believe that if you joined all the session, you can actually pass the exam as well. And then finally you will receive this beautiful purple badge, and after you collecting all of them, because each of them has a 10 point, and you save into the 100 point, you will receive the MGRC certificate. It's very valuable for your future job career, okay? So, like the always, I would like to ask you to open our website. I put the link into the chat. So, I think I have to put it from here. My desktop today is a little bit wide, so I would like to make sure that all of you have a visibility of the full screen, okay? So if you had some problem, I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So this is our Python digital skill training website, and on the top there are three important buttons. The first one is digital skill training, and I think that I'm not signed in. It redirect into your student account and your staff account, and then you need to pass your user and password. And then again, there is another octo verification 94. And then you will reach into digital skill training official website. Here you can find the different workshops. The Python is going to finalize for this session, and then if you would like to again joining any, if you missed any Python session and would like to join, you have to wait for the next semester. But about the latex or in vivo, you can find the rest of the sessions here, of course. Okay. And again, we have the MGRC. If you would like to learn more about this certificate, you can use it this actually tab, and here is the support. So you can join the Slack community by your student account or your staff account, and then ask your question about Python these all session or any general Python. So I will be there, your friends there, and they will help you to solve your problem. And you can scroll down, you can find about the Python, our opportunity, our philosophy. And here again is the MGRC program. The training overview, what will be covered during this workshop, who is our trainer, eligibility and expectation are here. Read once before joining our class. And this is the support. Again, you can find the Slack community and the rest of the useful link of the University of Melbourne are here. But the important section, as always, is a Python workshop session. So, in this session, we have in previous sessions, we have seen the installation for the Python, the virtual environment. Is anyone here who haven't installed Python and didn't create any virtual environment? They can use actually this tutorial based on your operating system. If it is a Windows, using the Windows one, and if it is a Mac, using the Mac tutorial. So install a Python, create a virtual environment, and if you get an error, you can find the troubleshooting guide here. If your error is not a part of this troubleshooting guide tutorial, you can ask your actually problem by the email from me, or you just can put it into the Slack and I will respond to you. And in any case, you don't want to install a Python and you would like to use it as an online version, here is the Google Drive. So you can just follow through this tutorial and then you will bring it up the Python on your Google Lab and then using the Python there. So if you haven't installed and you joined our class for this session, please use it this tutorial, walk through them and step by step bring it a Python into the Google, and then you can follow this session with us. We have seen the introduction into the Python. We talked about the hello words, comments, error, assigning, data types, and then we go into the data structure, the important parts. We talked about the list, tuple, set, and dictionary. But in this session, we would like to think like Python. So please come scroll down and just download it, this one. And for the rest of this sections, I will not cover for this workshop, but there is a video there. I believe that there is some tutorial there, maybe. Yeah, also the tutorials are there. So you can even just study by yourself. And if you have any question, you can ask me in that case as well. So back into the Think Like Python, scrolling down and just clicking and downloading our tutorial. So let's close this part. Every single day we need to update our university laptop. Okay, so where is my project folder? Here it is. Okay, this is my project folder. And I would like to activate the virtual environment like always. So what should I need to do? Right click and push the option button. So if I push the option button on the keyboard, you can see the option for the copy. It's coming as a pass name. So just click on that and then open your terminal. The terminal, maybe it's in your dock, but if it is not, just press Command and space. So this spotlight search is coming up, and then you can search for the terminal here, okay? And then you need to type CD and paste the pass. You can paste it by Command V and then press enter or return on your keyboard. And now I would like to activate my virtual environment. If you remember, we use source.env1. The env1 is the name of my virtual environment. If you didn't use the dot for the hidden folder, don't need to put it a dot, but most of us using the dot env1 and the bin and the activate. So let me put this one into the chat for you. Okay, here it is, and then press enter and return. So can you see that the env1 now it's activated? Now it is time to bring up Jupyter Notebook, but typing only the Jupyter Notebook. I put this one into the chat for you. There it is, and then press enter. So Jupyter Notebook is come up in your browser. Now let's bring the Jupyter Notebook into the Windows. Where is my Windows? So here it is. This is my Windows. And do you remember this one, the project folder? So I just double click, open this project, clean the path on the top by pushing the delete. Just clean the path and type CMD and then press enter. So the CMD is coming up into the project path. So let me put into the chat for you only CMD, okay? So how can I activate my virtual environment? The name of virtual environment in Windows was env1, and then it was scripts. If you forget it, where is the location of your activate, you just need to go into the env1 and check in these folders, but it is into the scripts, okay? So scripts and activate. So I put this one into the chat for a Windows user. And then press enter and return. So the env1 is activated for us, and now it's time to type Jupyter Notebook. Put this one again into the chat for a Windows user. And the Jupyter Notebook is coming up on my default browser, okay? So let's back into our, let's bring it this doc down, okay. So let's back into our Jupyter Notebook and just actually drag and drop from where you download it into your folder. So let me put it here. I think that I do not have, yes, I have it, I think. So, but I believe that this one, maybe it's the old version. So let me just remove it, the previous one. Where is the project folder? So drag and drop and put it your tutorial into the project folder like always. So where is it? Mine, here it is. I think like a Python, and then I put into the project folder for myself. Here it is. Okay. So let's refresh it, and now I see that the thing like Python. Okay, let's open it. Before starting the session, I would like to review what we have actually studied last session. If you remember, we talked about the first data type as a list. So the list, for example, like this, list number. And then if you remember, it is actually used by the bracket, the square bracket, and we can put whatever we want. For example, the number. It is possible to put even the string, like for example, the name, Tom. I don't know, for example, the Python class, and also even it is possible to use the another list inside. So 3, 5 like this, and also something like having the 9, so just a random number. And when I run it, then I can access to each element into the list by using the square bracket, but we didn't put equal sign here because when you put it, it means that you are going to assigning the list into the variables. But when you are talking about the indexing, you are not using the equal, okay? So the indexing, it has two rules. The first one is always starting from the zero. So if I want to get 32, I need just to put it here 1. Why I need to put it the 1? Because start always from the 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, okay? So if I want to get oops, list number, for example, if I want to execute about the thumb 0, 1, 2, and the 3, okay? So always we start from 0 like this. And we talked about the range, and we have seen that if we want to get the range, there is the another rule. Always the start value of the range is included and end of the range is excluded. So it means that when I said 0 to 4, if you remember, it means that the 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index. But what about the 4? The 4 is excluded, okay? So always start from, for example, the 0, it's included, and the last part of the range, 4, it's excluded here. So it means that this one is a 0, it's coming for us. 32, it's a 1. 54, it's a 2. Here, it's a 3. But the Python, it was a 4, and it is excluded. Another example, for example, from 2 to 5. So if you remember, it means that index 2 included, index 3 included, index 4 included. What about the index 5? No, the 5 is excluded. So always the beginning of the range is included and the end of the range is excluded. So it was something like this. So 54, it's indexing number 2 because 0, 1, 2, and this is the 3, and this is the 4, but this one is the whole of them, it's the 5, okay? And then we studied about the tuple. So tuple and you. And then if you remember, it was like the parentheses. And again, you can put whatever you want as a string, as I don't know, as even the list inside that, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and whatever. And it is very similar and exactly it's a similar like the list number. And then we can just using the indexing there again. So again, the indexing, it's with a square bracket, so it doesn't related to our using the tuple or the list. Always indexing is the square bracket. And if you would like to get the Alice, again, there is a general rule here, 0, 1, 2. So this was for the Alice. And imagine if you would like to get a 4, do you remember that? We just need to know that where is the index of this list, 0, 1, 2, and this one was a 3. And again, this list, we can treat it as a list. And if we want to get a 4, we can just adding the another index, 0, 1, okay? Like this. And then we talked about the set. So the set number, and you remember that the set, it's in the curly bracket. And as you remember, it removed the duplication, and also it is going to actually reordering the numbers. So if I just printed this one, you will be see that how it's going on with the set number. So we get the errors. Let's read it together. The set number is not defined when it's coming up. It seems that I didn't run it this part, okay? Like this. So the duplication is removed here. And also about the dictionary, we talked about the dictionary. It is coming with the curly bracket, but it has the key, like for example, the name, and then you can use it the list, tuple, set, whatever you want here. And for example, this is the A, this is the B, and this is the C. So how can I access to the name? Very easy. You say Dick, and the indexing here in the dictionary was something else because it's not possible to use indexing as a number 0, 1, 2. We need to use the key values, and then ABC it's coming up. And if you would like to get a B as a, for example, results, again, this is the list. So we treat it as a list, 0 and the 1, okay? So this is whole about the previous session and what we learned together, because I repeated the previous session because it's very related to our session today, and we needed to use the list and the indexing here again, okay? So let's talk about, is there any question up to now about the previous session? Okay, perfect. There isn't any question. So let's talk about the if statement. If statement is just like what we are saying in our conversational routine. For example, if the weather is sunny, we will go for a picnic. If the weather is rainy, we will be stay at home. So can you see that? If the weather is sunny, so this is the if condition. And then if it is sunny, we will be go for a picnic, okay? So this is the statement of this condition. When the sunny become true, when the weather becomes sunny, we'll go for a picnic. When the weather is rainy, this is a condition, we will stay at home. So the condition is rainy. When the rainy become true, the result is staying at home. When you get a mark above 30, you will pass the exam. So when your mark is above 30 is a condition, and when this condition become true, you will pass the exam, and this is the result of that condition. So let's type these conditions as a code. So for example, this is the weather, and I put it here something like, I don't know, sunny, and then say if. So we are using the if here, and can you see that it is the green? So it means that this is the reserved word for a Python. So if what? If weather it's sunny. Why we are using two equal sign here? Because when you are using one equal sign, it means that you are assigning this value to this variable. But when you are using two equal, it means that checking if these are same or not, checking the similarity. So this is sunny. Don't forget to use the colon. So at the end, you have to use the colon. And when I just push the enter or return on our keyboard, I coming into the next line, but can you see that there is a one space here? Because it wants to say us this statement is related to this condition. So when this condition it become true, this statement is running. So print we will go for a picnic. Okay? Picnic, something like this. So let's run this one and to see what's happening. We will go for a picnic. So why we see this result? Because the weather is sunny, and here the weather value is sunny, and check it with this part. How it going to check? Letter by letter. S, it's equal to this S, U, double N here, double N here, Y here, and then Y here. So it's 100 same. So it's become true. Do you remember we talked about the true and false? And I told you when something is true, the Python understand that should be continued. When something is coming to the false, the Python stop. So this is the same. When this condition become true, if you don't believe me, just need to copy and paste it into the cell and run it. Can you see that? This is a true. So if this condition become true, then the Python continue and go for the next statement. And this is the next statement related to this if condition. We will go for a picnic. Okay. Let's change it this one into the rain. So if the weather now it's rainy, it's not sunny. So if I'm running this part, we'll get nothing. Why? Because the rainy, it's not equal to sunny. Letter by letter. So the R, it's not equal to S. So it doesn't check the rest of them because at least one of them is not same. So the weather equal to sunny, now it's false. So when this condition become false, then the Python stop. It doesn't go to the next statement. Okay, so the condition is just closed here because the weather, it's rainy, it's not sunny. This statement is related to the condition where the weather is sunny. Okay, so maybe you said that if I write a sunny, then I will get a result. But why I didn't get a result here? Because the S I used, it is a capital here, but the S here is a small. So exactly, we know that the sunny with the capital and the sunny with the letter small, the meaning are the same, but the Python is not the semantic check, okay? It's going to checking character by character. So even if you put it S as a small here, but at the end, you put it the another space, so here it's the new character. So if you run it, you will get nothing because up to here, everything is the same. But the weather has one space character. But here, sunny it doesn't have. The meaning are the same, but the characters are not the same. So we get nothing. Even if you add, for example, one here or whatever, these values are not the same. Okay? So let's bring it something else. For example, my mark is 45. If mark greater than, so the greater than sign is like this. The greater than 30, oops, so I will get the error. Let's read together. I put it the colon, okay? And here it said that this is the incomplete input. It means that, okay, if the mark is greater than 30, then what should I do? I didn't bring it any statement here, okay? So I come into the next line. If I forget to put the colon and I run it this part, I will get the another error. So that I expected to put a colon here. And you see? And even it shows us the place. So even when I come into the next line, you will see that start from the beginning. There isn't any space here. But the space show that this statement is connected to the condition. So I put the colon and coming down and the one space here, it means that whatever I'm writing here, it's connecting to our condition and depending into our condition. If the condition become true now, it's going to be run, this statement. So if the mark is greater than 30, print pass. Okay? So I will run it and I will get a pass. Can you see that? So let's put it this one as a 30. And I expected to get a pass, but the 30 is not greater than 30. So how can I put it and how can I say that even if you get a 30, you will be passed as well? So the sign is like this, greater than and equal. So check it the equality and check it if it is greater than. So this now it's become the pass. Maybe we'll forget that about where should you put the equal. So can you see that if I put it the equal here, this part it's become the black. But I expected that both of them has the same color. I would like to make it this one a little bit zoom if you want it. Okay, or maybe this is too much. So this is equal and greater than 30. Let's talk about less than. So mark 2, it's, I don't know, 67. If mark less than 30, then print fail. Okay, I don't know if it has an E at the end or not. Okay, so the mark is 67, oh, 30, not 3. So this is the sign of less than 30. So if I run it, I didn't get any result. Why? Because if I check the mark is less than 30, this is the false. The mark is 67, of course, okay? So this is the false and it's a stop and it doesn't continue for the rest of them. But if I put it this one 20, you will get a result. I expected to get a result. But I didn't get. Why? Let me check. Uh, mark 2, 20 is less than 30. I don't know. Do you know what is our problem? Here we use a mark, but here we define mark 2, okay? So this is our logical error. We didn't get any error, but logically, this one was a wrong, okay? So mark 2, it's 20, and now I get a result. Because the mark 2 is less than 30, and this is the true, okay? Now I would like to add something here. Here. So what do you expect you will get as a result? If you know, put it into the chat. Do we get a fail or do we get have a good day or what do you think? Any idea? So let's check it together. Have a good day. Other idea? Okay. Let's check it together. Let's check it what each line. Let me close it. Okay. Let's check it line by line here. Mark 2, it's 20. Mark 2 is less than 30, and this is the true condition. So I expected to continue the condition and going into the statement and print fail. That's fine. But this one is out of this condition. Why it is out? Because of this space? No, because this is not one space inside. So this is a new code. Everything with a one space indented, something like this, it is coming as a statement for this condition. Okay, so if I run it this part, this one is a fail, It's coming because this condition is true. And also print have a good day. So have a good day is not related to this condition. If I just putting this one as, I don't know, 60, so the expected result is, what do you think? The expected result is only have a good day. Why? Because 60 is not less than 30, and this is the false, so it's not going to print the fail, but this is a separate from the if and it's going to run it. Okay? This one is it's a false, so this print fail is not running, and then it's coming outside this if condition and run the next part of the code. This is not related to the if. But if I put this one inside the if condition, then this print is related and dependent to the condition as well. So if I run at this part, let me put in one space here, I will get nothing because 60 is not less than 30, and the rest of the statement, all those statements inside the if condition is not true. It's not going to be run. But if I put this one as a 20, it's going to be run, both of them. Okay? So this is about the if condition. And I would like to ask you to write it down, this code for me. So if the student, if the student number is greater than and equal, greater than and equal, I don't know, 42, then print, I don't know, we will go for a picnic. Picnic, yes. Okay. So, can you please change this one into the code? And if you done it, put it into the chat. So let me see what we have as a question into the chat. Oh, that one, I think the response to my question. Thank you, Lenny. Okay, so could you please put this statement into the code and put it into the chat, and then we will run it together, your results, your code, and then your friends also can use your code as well. So if the student number, print, we will go for a picnic. Good, Daniel. So could you please actually define student number as well? Because you said if it's greater than equal 42, but which variable? Yes. So you have to define one variable for that. You can put the student number as a variable, whatever, based on the variables we have defined it. And then greater than and equal 42, then print will go for a picnic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good, good. So one of your friends put a code into the chat. So let's run it this one. The student number it's 50. This is the assumption for your friend, and then said that if the student number it's greater than and equal 42, it's really good. But can you see that this print, it needs to be dependent into the if condition. So if I run at this part, I will get a little bit error because I do not use the colon here, okay? So with this one, uh, uh, I think that this part is because of the chat. It's not your friend's fault. Okay, so now it's great. And let's see what's Daniel. Write it down for us. The student ID 45. Yes, the student ID, it's more than 42. Excellent. This one is correct as well. So this is the way of you can use the if condition. So this is the greater than and equal, and also you can use less than and equal. So if I put it the equal sign here, you will be see that, okay, this is the black and this is the purple, so these are not matched together. So you have to put it into the another side, okay? So equal and greater than, less than and equal, and also we have seen that these two equal sign, it means that check it if they are same, exactly should be same, so the similarities should be 100. And then this one, it means that not the same, okay? So also I would like to give you one example with this one. We will see later. It doesn't need to repeating this part again. Okay, we will see later. But let's go for the if and else statement. So up to now we have seen that if there is a rainy, we'll stay at home. If there is a sunny, we'll go for a picnic. But if there is a sunny, we'll go for a picnic. What about if the weather is a rainy? If you get above 30, your mark is above 30, you will be passed. Otherwise, you will be failed, or it is possible to, for example, repeating your exam. So when we are talking the conditions, sometimes there are both sides. So something it's negative or positive. So if this number is not a negative, so it should be positive. When the weather it's not no we cannot it's not possible to use a weather here because the weather it may have a different conditions, not just for the two side. So it can be a rainy, it can be a sunny, it can be a cloudy, it can be whatever, snowy. But something that has a two side, negative and positive, day or night, or for example, true or false, or for example, I don't know, these kind of things, pass or fail, okay? These kind of things need the if else statement. So, for example, we'll say that the mark is 32. If mark is greater than and equal to 30, you will be pass, print pass. Otherwise, so when we talk about the otherwise, the next one, it doesn't have any condition. So because of this, we it's not possible to use for the multiple condition. Because if we talked about the rainy, sunny, and cloudy, it's maybe the rainy, it can maybe the cloudy, it can maybe the sunny. So we have to put the another condition here. But when we are talking about pass or fail, there isn't any condition. When we don't pass, we will fail. So if mark greater than 30, print pass. Otherwise, the otherwise is coming by the else. Colon again, print fail. Okay? So the else, it doesn't have any condition. So it means that if this one is not true, in any other situation, it will be fail. Okay? When the number is not a positive, then in any other situation, it should be negative. So for example, the number, it's -2. Okay, so if the number it's greater than 0, we have to accept the 0 here. If the number is greater than 0, then you can print that it is positive. Otherwise, so how can I write the otherwise? Else. So if and else are in the same order, in the same location. Why? Because this is the condition. Also, this one it's condition inside. Because if the number is not a 0, it means that if the number is greater than 0, for the else, it means that the number less than 0, less than and equal 0, okay? Print negative, okay? So the result is a negative. If I put it this one as a 100, you will see that this is the positive. So the if and else condition is for something that it has two sides, weekend or weekdays. We are working on the weekends, so it means that we are not working on the weekdays. So if the shop is not open, so it should be closed. There isn't any other option, okay? So from 9 to 5, this store it's open. So it means that the other time it is closed, okay? So let's ask you to write it down, this one, this question. It's a little bit tricky, but I will help you. So write the if-else statement. It means that it should have a if and it should have a else. Set a condition in the if statement to check if number is even. How can I check it the number is even? I will explain it this one to you. If the condition is true, print the number is even. Otherwise, in the else part, it means in the else part, print this number is odd. But how can you check the number is even or odd? So do you remember that we talk about this percentage? It means that this is divisible. For example, 10, this one, it gives you the reminder. So the 10, it's divisible by 2. So the reminder, it should be 0. Also, for example, I don't know, 12. I don't know because it's divisible by 2. So whenever you want to check this one is even or not, it should be divisible by 2 and the reminder should be 0, okay? So for example, if I put it this one 33, which is not divisible by 2, you will get something rather than 0. So in the condition, you have to check it if this reminder, it should be num here, any number, equal to 0, then the number is even. Otherwise, it is the odd. Okay, so this is the help for you. And I would like to ask you, please try to actually create this one into the code if you would like. And then we will coding together as well. You can put it your response into the chat and I can use it that one. Mm-hmm. So let me see. Daniel put this something into the chat. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Let's try the Daniel code. Okay. So The num, it can be whatever. So your friend assumption is 15. And if the num reminder to the 2 equal to 0, it means that if it's divisible by 2, then it is even. Otherwise, so the otherwise translate into the else. It's the odd. It seems very correct, so let's try it. I'm perfect. So if I put it something such as, for example, 16, which is even, we will see that the number is even as well. Okay. So, um, let's talk about the another one. So, up to now, I told you how to create the if condition. If the weather is sunny, we can go for a picnic. And then we see that if we had the two possible condition, negative and positive, odd or even, day or night, open or close, weekday or weekends. Okay, only two options. But sometimes there is more than two options. For example, if your mark is greater than 30, you will be passed. If it is between 20 and 30, you can repeat your exam. If less than 20, you will be failed. Okay, so this is the three option. Or if the weather it's rainy, we'll go. If the weather is sunny, we'll go for a picnic. If it is a rainy, we'll stay at home. If it is cloudy, we'll go for swimming. So even it can be more. If it is snowy, we will go for a skiing. Okay, so there is more than two option here. So the conditions are more than two. So, for example, if the traffic light is red, you have to stop. If it is yellow or orange, I don't know. It's if it is a yellow, so you have to be careful. If it is green, you have to pass. You have to go. Okay. So this one it has a three option. So it's not two. Okay. So in that cases, you have to use elif. So it means that else and if combined together. For the else, we didn't write any other, for example, a condition. We just say that if the above condition is not true, so the rest of them, it's just related to the else. But elif, we write the another condition for that. So let's bring it this one into the code. For example, mark. For example, someone is 45. If mark it's greater than 30, then print will be pass. Also, it's good to be greater than and equal, okay? I would like to put it the next condition, okay? The next condition is if the mark is between 20 and 30. How can I write it this one? At the first, I have to use elif. So it means else and if. There is the else, the rest of the conditions, but it has the if. It means that it has its own condition. So if elif. So elif mark it's less than 30. Is it possible to use less than and equal 30? You will get a logical error. We'll talk about it. But right now, less than 30. And can you see that how much Python it's easy to writing the code? It is whatever you are just saying, you just typing. Less than 30 and mark greater than and equal 20. Then print. You can repeat the exam. Okay. Else, I can put it elif put it another condition as well, but just I would like to finalize my condition here. So if I want to finalize the condition, I can use it the else. For the rest of the situation, okay, else print you will be fail. Okay, so let me bring this one to capital. Okay, let's run it this part together. We'll get a pass. So let's read it line by line. The mark is 45, it's good. The 45 is greater than and equal 30. This is the true. And then it will going to print a pass. That's fine. What about the rest of one? Is it going to read the rest of the conditions? No. In if and else condition, you have to make sure that there isn't any overlap between the conditions. If you put it some overlap, it doesn't mean that you will get an error, but this is the logical error, okay? So in this case, you see if the mark it's greater than and equal to 30, it's pass. And again, we have equal to 30 again. So if someone get exactly 30, should pass or repeat. Which one? But because we didn't get any error, the result will be pass because this condition is coming at the first. So you have to make sure that there isn't any overlap between your conditions. But you can write it down, this condition, in another way as well. For example, you can type it if the mark is greater than 30, if the mark is between 30 and 20, else print fail, okay? If I remove it this part for this one, because I want to show you what is the difference between this and this. These are two will get the same pass. So if mark is greater than and equal 30, you will be pass. Elif, mark less than 30 and greater than and equal 20, you will be repeat. Here, if the mark is greater than 30, you will be pass. And again, if instead of elif, the mark is less than 30 and greater than equal 20, you will be repeat. Okay. The results are the same even if you change it the mark into, I don't know, 45. Will you see the pass if you get it something, for example, I don't know, 25 here. You will be see that the repeat. So both of them it works. So just with the one if, repeating the if, with one if condition, when you're repeating in a different times, you can create the elif as well. But what is the difference between these two one? The difference is about the computational source. So when the if condition is checking here, if this one is a true, it doesn't go to check the rest of them. Okay, so this one is very easy and it's very fast for a Python to just print a repeat or print a pass. But imagine you are writing a very huge code and you want to compute very computational things, mathematical things. So instead of writing to if you use it the elif, you will be skip it this part. But in this case, check it this one. Even it's not, even it's true, it will be go to check the another one as well because these are independent. They are not related to each other. This is one code and this is the another code. But the elif, it's connected to the if. If this one is a fail, checking the next elif. Okay? If this one is the pass, it doesn't go to the else or it doesn't go to the next elif. Okay? So let's create another code. For example, let's bring it this one and have some example on this. If I put it, I don't know, 1000, I will get it a pass. But in the logical meaning it's not possible someone get a 1000 as a mark. So this is not correct. How can I solve it here? I can say, for example, the maximum one, it's a 100. So mark, or for example, here it should be less than, and mark it should be less than in equal, because someone can be get a 100 as well. Okay, so the mark, it should be less than 100, and if above 30, so the range is a 130, you will be passed in this range. So let's run it this one. I will get a fail in that time. So what does it mean? So because here, it doesn't mean that someone get a 1000 and then it's a fail. This is not the correct code, okay? The logically has a problem. So how can I change it this one? I can say that the elif and say mark should greater than 0, and even it can be equal to 0, and then print fail. Well, let me see if this is a correct or not. Again, we will get a, and also, oops, it should be greater than 0, and not less than 0. Let me see, how can I solve with this one? Mm, and mark less than, I don't know, 100. Let me see what we'll get from this one. Okay, now it's worked. So maybe you said that for this part, if someone get, I don't know, 67, it should be failed, because the 67, it's greater than 0, and also it's a less than 100. But it will be checked from above. So at the first, it said that the 67 is in this range and it will be passed, and it doesn't check the rest of them. Can you see? So when something is not in this condition, and even it not in this condition, so it's going to be fail, or it is the logical error. So for example, the -2, we'll get nothing. Even we can put some error here, say that else, oops, print I don't know, enter correct value. So the -2 is not in each of these conditions, and then you have to actually pass it the correct value. Or even something like 1000 here, 10,000 here is not the correct value. So when you are just writing the if, elif, and else, it's not only about the syntactic error. You're just thinking logically how it's going to be solved, okay? So any question up to now, I think that it's might be a little bit confusing, but if you try to write it down by yourself, it's really helped to understand. So what is going between the if and elif and the else. Is there any question up to now? Okay, so let me show you something else here. Mark is 10. If mark is greater than 20 and mark greater than, I don't know, greater than 0, this one, print A, whatever. So the result of this is nothing. But if I put it something like, I don't know, 30, you will be see that we will have A here, okay? if I add something else and mark equal to 90, so this one you will be get nothing, because when you are using the and, it means that each condition should be true. So the whole of this condition, it's false, but this one is true. This one is true also. And only the last condition is false. So even at least one condition it's become the false, it's making the whole of these all conditions together as a false. Okay? But if I put it something like or here, then what is the result? We'll get A. Why? Because the whole of them, it's true if I put it or here. Okay? When we are talking about the or, it means that if at least one of them it's true, it's enough. The whole of them it's become true. So I put it here or and make it this one as a less than 0. So this one is true. 30 is greater than 20, but the 30 is not less than 0. So this one is a false. Also, this one is not equal to 90. It's a false. But at least one of them is a true. So when at least one of them is a true, and we are using the or operation, it changes the whole of them into the true. Can you see? But when I use and here, it means that this one also should be true as well. Okay? So this is the difference between using the and the or. For the and condition, it should be true, but for the or, at least one of them it's true, it's enough to make it the whole condition into the true part, okay? So this is the difference between and or. And let's go for the loop. Any question up to now? Okay, perfect. So when we are talking about the for statement, it means that we are doing something repeatedly. For example, I would like to print the name of all students at University of Melbourne, or all students of the Python class, or all the students of class A, or whatever. Okay, so the first option is you print each print it one by one. So print Alice, print Tom, print Jack, like this. This is one option you will have. For example, print Tom, print Jack, I don't know, Jack, print whatever, I don't know, Sarah. Okay, I will print all the students class one by one. But this is the repeating option, repeating activity, printing. Print this one, print that one. Okay. So when we are talking about the repeating activity, the for or the loops are coming up. It means that I have a list of a student. Tom, I don't know, Jack, I don't know. Oh, whatever. Julie, I don't know, such as Alice, it can be Alex. Okay. So this is the list of the students who can, and university wants to Just make it the student ID, the new student ID for all the students. So how to get that student's name? You can just write, okay, list the students. This is the 0, Tom, print one ID card for the Tom, and then one ID card for the Jack. So we have a 2,000 maybe students or maybe more at University of Melbourne, and this is not working. So what is the for condition can help us? We can say for, okay? So the keyword is a for, and can you say that it is the green? It means that this is a reserved for. It is not possible to use as a variable name. So for I, what is I? I will explain it. I in list students print, I don't know, the student ID for, and then I, something like this. Okay. So what's happening here? Let me see the result. The student ID for Tom, a student ID for Jack. So instead of writing one by one, it's just going to do it automatically. How can you work this? How can you use this one? This is the list of the students, Tom, Jack, Julie. So when I say I is a something that usually people used for conditions, for loops. You can use a J. So at the beginning they use I, the next for is a J. When they are using the loops inside the loops, it can be P, Q, M, N, but you can use it whatever you want. For example, even a student. This is just variable, okay? So for a student, this is the variable in list of students. It means that go to read a list of students and get it the first value. The first value is Tom. Assign Tom to the student variable and then print student ID for Tom. Then come up. Come up and go into the next variable. The next one is Jack. And then assign Jack to the student and print a student ID for Jack. Then it comes up again. Julie. Julie assigned to the student and then print a student ID for Julie. Come up again. Alice. Assign to the student, print a student ID for Alice. Again, come up, Alex. Assign Alex to the students, and then student ID for student. Again, come up, but the list of students is finished. Okay, so there isn't any other value here. It's going to repeat until the list of students it's become finished. Okay. So if I add some other things here, A, I don't know, B, I don't know, 12, I don't know, 13, 65, whatever. So it's going to repeat until the end. Let's write it down again, the another one. For example, list of number, possible to be tuple, of course, always is not unnecessary to use the list, okay? So this is the tuple. 12, and for example, this is the mark of students. This can be, I don't know, 60, 89, 75, I don't know, 90, 38, 57 or whatever. I would like to actually put it the name of the mark of the student into the list. I can do it one by one, or I can write a code like this. For, let me bring it a little bit down. For I, instead of I, you can use any variable, okay? By I, it's very general, okay? I in list num colon like the if, you have to use a colon. When I just using enter, can you see that? One space further. It means that this statement. Okay? Print. This is a student marks or mark. Or this is the I. Okay? So let's run it this word. How to execute this one? For I in list num. What is the list num? List num is a tuple. It's here. So the first value is a 60, 60 assigned to the I, and then print 60. Come up, 89, assigned to the I, print 89. 75 assigned to the I, print 75. 90, 38, and 57. Okay? So this is the statement it's going to repeat for the for. If I just write something like print hyphen class, what is your idea? What is the result of this code? What do you think? Do you think that the Python class is coming after each of these student mark, or coming at the end only, or coming in the beginning? What is your idea? Just a little bit think about it, and then we will be discuss. Okay, excellent. What does it mean? What is the result? Let me run together. So the Python class is just only coming at the end. Why? Because these for it's only repeating until the end of the tuple, and then it's going to read the next line. So at the first, these four it's become complete, and then read the rest of the code, print Python class. And this print Python class is not dependent into the for, because can you see it's a start from the beginning. It's not inside the for. But if I put it inside the for, then can you see? For each of them, this print Python class also depended into the for, and it's going to run. So the 60, it's assigned to the I, print this the student mark is 60. And also this one is inside the for. So it should be run this one as well. So print a Python class. Then it's come up 89. This is the student mark. And again, type of print a Python class. It's coming up 75 and then print a Python class. Okay. And as always, we need to print something, a string. No, even you can say, for example, I would like to add 10 marks to all of the students. So the mark was 60, and after updating, the updated is turned into 70. So print this one, and then it's going to print the next line as well, because both of them are inside the for. And it's not related to the space here, okay? So this is about the for, but the interesting thing is the combination of the for and if. Before this part, I would like to ask, if you have any question, you can open your mic or even you can put into the chat and I will help you. Okay. I would like to give you some example, and then we find out this is related to the for, this is related to the if, or this is the combination of for and if. For the if, we see that even in a conversational language, we use if it's raining. It's very obvious. And for the for, we just need to find out this is the repeating action, printing something, or even, for example, adding some value here. You'll see that every single time we add a 10. So this action is repeating, repeating, repeating. So How can I understand about the for and if combination of them? Let me tell you an example. I have a shop, I have a store, and I would like to put 20% off onto the items more than $100. So only for the items, for the objects more than $100, I would like to put 20% off. But for the rest of them, under the $100, I want to keep it the original price. Okay? So let's interpret this example. If I would like to do it manually, what's going to do? I just check it each price by myself so that if this price is 100 above 100, so it means that I have to put it 20% off. And then I go into the next price. This price, if greater than $100, I have to put it 20% off. The next price, the next price. So I check it if this price is greater than or less than 100. Okay. So we have seen that, okay, it has a if. It's very obvious. But the first object, the next object, the third object, the fourth object, the fifth object, I repeated this one for all the objects in my store, for all the items in my store. The repeating things. So it means like I have to use a for because it's a kind of the loop. And also it has the if condition as well because I have to check it's above $100 or not. So let's write a code for and if together. So let's have a price list. This is $20, this is a $40, $60, $110, $50, $200, $34, $850, $70, and $150. These are all items in my shop. Okay. So first I need to read each of them. Each items, bring it each of them. Oh, this item is $20. Oh, this item is $30. So I have to see each item. Okay, for I in price. Right now, the 20 with this code, the 20 assigned to the I. Now I is a 20. If you don't believe me, I can just printing the I. And you will see that the I at the first is 20, and then it's a 40, and then it's a 60. Oh, we had the syntax error here, okay? So did you see? So if I see the items, it's a 20. Now the 20 is, you do it automatically in your mind. The 20 is not above a 100. So if I, it's greater than 100, then print 20% off. Okay? So let me see what is the result. And also let's put it the something like price equal to 200 equal to I. Let me put it comma 0.8. If my mathematical things it's correct, I believe that I have to multiply each price into the 0.8 to get 20% off. I believe. I don't know. If I have any error here, please let me know. Okay. So let's read this code together. For I in a price, 20, the first, what is the price? Price is this list. The first item is 20, 20 assigned into the I. 20, it's greater than 100. No, it's not. So this is the false. It's not going inside the if. It's just come back and come up. Again, check 40. 40 assigned to the I, 40 is greater than 100. No, it's not. So it doesn't go into run it this print. It's coming up. 60. 60, it's greater than 100. No, it's not. Again, it's coming up. 110. 110, it's assigned to the I is greater than 100. Yes, it is. So when this condition is true, it's going to write this statement and also multiple, for example, price into the 0.8 to get the after 20% off price. Okay. Again, 50. It's not greater than 100. Sorry. 200. It's greater than 100. So this one is a true. It's going to run this part. 34, it's not. 850, it is. It's going to run this part. 70 is not. 150, it's true, and it's going to be run. So I expect that I get a result for 110, for 200, 850, and 150. Let me see. So after the 20% off, for 110, we'll get $88. We can type the original price as well. For example, original. Okay. So the original price was 110, and after 200, the price is 88. Original price was 200, and after the 20% is 160. Okay, and the rest of them. So this is the combination of for and if. Okay, so let's having another example. Imagine that we would like to send a message to those who get an appointment with with one doctor, for example, for tomorrow. Always you will see that you have received a lot of message about, for example, tomorrow we'll have appointment with this, you will have appointment for that one. Okay, so this is just like the for loop. This is not someone type it the message for everyone. This is something that automatically do. So, for example, let me create a list of person. Um, this does not include the time as well, but it's a good example. Okay, so list of list. Okay, that can be a list. So these persons has an appointment with doctors for tomorrow, so they are coming into the database because they actually get the appointment. So Alice, Sarah, my name, I don't know, Jack, I don't know, John. Okay, and then I would like to write. I would like to ask you to do. So write a code, please, because this is very simple. Write a code to send message to the persons in the list with the content of hi. Okay, name of the person, Name of the person. Uh, Tomorrow you will have an appointment with Dr. Jace. What? I don't. Okay. So let's run it this part. Mark down. Okay. So this is the list. I can put it for you into the chat. And I would like to write a for loop for me because this action should be repeated. And printing the hi in the name of the person and say that tomorrow, where is it? Tomorrow it has a 2M. I'm not sure. I'm very bad at dictation. Sorry about that. Okay, you will have the appointment with Dr. Tace. No, it has a 2M, of course, but one R. Oh my God, I'm really bad at dictation. Okay. So we have a list. We want to send them message. These persons has an appointment with Dr. Jason, and we want to remind them tomorrow they will have the appointment. So it should be the repeating action because it's a message. And yeah, it should be only the repeating action. It doesn't have any if condition here. Any idea? Is someone write it down the code or not? Let's try it together. Oh, your friend sent us a very good code and we have to see and read it together. Okay. For I in list, completely correct. So it means that the Alice, it's assigned to the I, print hi, Alice. Tomorrow we will have an appointment with Dr. Jace. So let me see the results. So can you see? These are sent to the persons automatically at the once click. You doesn't need to write a message by yourself, of course. Okay. So let's have the another example with the for and if because it's very important, of course. Imagine we have the student Mark. I have to check all of them. Did you use this one? No, no, no. I want to check all these marks and see those who are get more than 40, they will be passed. So let's interpret this scenario for ourselves. This is not only one mark. We have done a lot of checking the pass and fail with the if condition only with the one mark. The mark is 80. If it is greater than 30, you will be pass. If less than 30, you will be fail or else you will be fail, okay? But this is the list you have to doing repeatedly. Student number one, student number two, student number three. So you have to read all students' mark and check it if they are greater than 40 or 30, whatever. and then send a message, you passed the exam. Okay? So by this scenario, we'll understand that this is the repeating action. It needs a for. It has an if condition, if greater than 30. So it's a combination of for and if. So for I would like to use a J, whatever. The student marks with these four, I will read 80, I will read 90, and then I want to check it if J is greater than and equal 30, print pass. Very easy. Okay. So again, this is the combination and for and if I run it with ourselves, at the first it's 80, 80 assigned to the J, 80 is greater than 30, it will be print the pass. Even pass, and then you can say your mark is other. It's J. Don't forget, if you change it this one into the J, you have to use it the J consistently, okay? So check it 90, 90 is greater than 30. I think all the students are going to be pass for this exam. That's good. So everyone passed because all of them are greater than 30, 80 assigned to the J, 80 greater than 30, 90 assigned to the J, 90 greater than 30. So whenever this condition is become true, it's going to read this state. Okay, so this is about the for condition. But I would like to talk about something related to the while. What is a while? While is a loop condition as well. It's like a for, it's repeating an option. But a big difference between a for and while is that the for, you know that how many times this is going to be repeat. It's going to be repeat to the length of the list of a student. So if you have a 200 student in this class, this for loop repeating 200 times. If you have, for example, a list of people which get some appointment, it's going to be repeat and sending a message just to the number of these persons, okay? So for the if, we know that how many times it's going to be repeat. But for the while, we don't know how many times, or it is very big and it is hard to count how many times we need. Let me give you an example, a real world example. For example, when you just want to sign in into any web application, you just need to use your username and password. As far as you just having the enter the incorrect password, you will get the result as this password is incorrect. How many times it's going to be happen? The person who wrote the code, does it know that the user will be enter the, I don't know, the password 3 times wrong, 2 times wrong, 5 times wrong, or at the first time it's going to log in? So how many times it's going to be repeat? No one knows. Okay, so we don't know how many times. In some applications, after 3 times, it's going to be blocked because they didn't want to spend that much computation on this part. But in most cases, they didn't. The people, the person who write the code doesn't know. So use the why. Or for example, you set an alarm on your phone, and as you know that when you set the alarm, you set the hours and also you set the minute. It's not possible you set the second, just a minute. So every single minute, your phone checking the time of your phone with the time that you set. If these are match, it's ringing. How many times it need to be do it need to be repeated this part? No one's know. Because maybe, for example, now it's 11:09, and maybe you set your alarms in 11:30. So it's going to be, now it's at 10, it's going to be 20 times repeating. But if you put it for 11:30 at the AM, no, it's AM, it's coming this time. For example, 10 at AM, it's going to be next day ringing. So no one's know that how many times need to be repeat, how many times need to check the phone actual clock with something that you set as an alarm. So let's bring it this one into the code. For example, correct password. It's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And also this is the wrong pass as 3 to 1. So, oops. I would like to check it while the wrong pass is not equal. So I told you that we will use the not equal. This one is the equal, and this one is not equal to the correct pass. Again, it has a colon, and it's coming the next line one space further. Print. This is incorrect. It's going to be repeating multiple times. Also, let me write something else. Wrong password and get the input from user. So with the input, you can get the input from user. Type correct password. Okay. Hopefully this one is going to be correct, because if I had some mistakes, unlimitedly it's going to be wrong. So if I put it this one, for example, correct, hopefully this one is going to be wrong. If it's crash, I will show you how to restart the kernel. Okay. So you have to be very careful when you are using the while. So let's run it this part. So do you know what was the problem? Okay, so let's try it. The correct password, I put it 7, 6, and 5, and then press enter. Again, it's correct. It's not the correct. Again, it's not the correct. Again, it's not the correct. So while I pass the correct one, 1, 2, 3, it's done. This for while is finished. Let me type it in another code. I want to show you why it is very, that you have to make sure that your code is correct, and you have to worry about running this part because it's going to run unrepeatedly. Using a different example, yes, of course. So I'm going to write another example. So the number is 5. While the number is less than 10, okay, please don't write this code right now, okay? Because I would like to show you what is the problem you will be get. If you run it this one, it's going to be crash because always 5 is sorry, is less than 10, and it's going to be repeat unlimited time. And if I run it, this one is going to be crash. And if you did it, please come here and restart your kernel. Okay, so how can I control this one? I can say number plus 1. What does it mean, this one? This is exactly same as I say num plus 1. Okay, so I added one value into the 5. So let me run it and you will be a stop. 5 is a less than 10, so this is the true. And then it's going to run this statement. What is this statement? It is exactly the same with this one because most of the time you will be see something like this. So the 5 plus 1 is going to be 6, and then num is a 6 right now, print 6. It's coming up. 6 less than 10, yes. 10 plus 1, 11. Num is now 11. No, it was 6. 6 plus 1, it's a 7. Now num is a 7.7. Come up. 7 less than 10, yes. 7 plus 1, it's a 8. And then print 8. Come up. 8 less than 10, yes. 8 plus 1, it's 9. Print 9. It's come up. 9 less than 10, yes. 10, it's 9. 9 plus 1, it's 10. Print 10. It's come up. 10 is less than 10? No, if I put it here equal, or I had a mistake, I have to put it equal here in the another side, then I will have the next round for 11 as well. But the 10 is not less than 10. Okay, so it's not going to having 10 plus 1, 11 and print 11 here. Okay, so let's talk about this one a little bit more. When these are usually used in into the while conditions. Okay, so for example, if you type it like this, star, it means that num star 1. So how can you use this one into the this? It means that when two variables uh, from the right side and the left side, the equal signs are the same, you can remove it one of them. So if I remove this one, you have to put it this here. Because for example, if I put it plus 1, it seems that the num, it's a positive, it means that the num is a positive 1. But I would like to say that add 1. So I have to put it this one, this plus here. Again, for the num, if someone can change it this one into the shorter version, I would be happy. How can I change this one into a shorter version? If I run this part, I will get a crash because always 5 multiple to 1, it's a 5. And always 5 is less than 10. So let's put it this one into 2. And then only one time it's going to be. No matter. Oh, sorry, I put it this into, I would like to put it this one into everyone, but I send it privately. So what do you think? How can I change it this one into the shorter version? Do not have it too much time. Okay, we can say num, we can remove it one of them, one of the variables, because these two are the same. And this is num minus 1, it's equal to minus 1. It doesn't mean that doing the operational things. So I put it this minus here. Okay, so this is the shorter version. Okay. And this is the example that we have done with the even and odd. But now I would like to bring you the quiz one because this helps you to be ready for the exam, and this is for these sessions. Okay, so what is the result of this code? If you know, please put it into the chat. And it's equal to -5. And if less than and less than, it's negative. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So let's run it. First, it is a negative, okay? So let's run this. Let's see what is the result of this. So the tuple is 12, 87, 97, 0, and 65. So if I run the for through this tuple and print I, what do you expect as a result? Excellent, excellent, excellent. So let me run it together. You will be get this result. And let me see, this one is the combination of for and if. So it's going to be for in list one. So the first one is going to the Tom. Tom, it's assigned to the I. If Tom equal to the Tom, correct, print Tom. Otherwise, it's going to be add 2 into the variables, okay? So the first one is Tom, it's print. The next one is coming 3. 3 assigned into the I, it's not equal, sorry, into the Tom. So the else is going to be into the else because this one is false. Excellent, excellent. So 3 plus 2 is going to be 5, and the another one is going to be 7. Excellent, excellent. So this is a result, just exactly same as what your friends told us. And this one, so for I in list 1, okay, so Tom assigned to the I. If I, Tom, in list 2, what does it mean? I put it here purposely to show you that what does it into the if means. It means that exist. If Tom exists into the list, excellent, excellent. Print Tom, okay? So 3. 3 assigned to the I. 3 exists into the list too? No. 5 does not exist. 45. 0 exists. Excellent, excellent. So this is the Tom and this is the 0. So I would like to close the session, but if you have a question, I'm here. And don't worry about the exam. I think that it's very easy. And if you be with us through all these sessions, you can just respond all of them easily. And hopefully you will get the Python purple beautiful badge. And yes, thank you. I really enjoyed this workshop and I really enjoyed to be with you. This is the best class that I have ever had. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone.